So y, we're going to find the slope. So what did you come up with? Did you get a slope? 6 minus 4 over 1 minus 2. So you got 2 over -1. -2 is my slope. So then we pick a point. It makes no difference. It doesn't make any difference. I'll just use this one as first. So y minus 2, y minus 4 equals -2, x minus 2. I almost slipped up there. This is x, this is y. So y minus 4 equals -2, x minus 2. Now, there'll be directions on your test. What form is this? This is point slope. So if the directions say answer and point slope, then you're done. That's it. But if the directions say answer and slope intercept, then you're going to have to distribute. So y minus 4 equals -2x plus 4. I have to distribute here. And then add this 4 to the other side. In other words, I have to get y by itself. That would be the slope-intercept form.
And can we simplify that? If we divide by 2?
Can't do that. No, because you can't divide this by 2. This isn't a 0, so you would have y over 2, which you wouldn't want to have. All right, everybody okay with that? Now, the next one is the same kind of problem, except we don't have 2 points. We got to figure out a different way to find our slope. We want to be parallel to 6x minus 3y equals 10, and we want to contain the point -2, 3. You know you need a slope. You got to have a slope. Where's it going to come from this time? Abby?
I think you subtract the 6x over twice the 10, then you have y and divide -3 by all of them, so y by itself.
So what she is saying is she's going to get y by itself in that equation. So she said step 1 is I'm going to subtract 6x. So -3y equals -6x plus 10. She just moved the 6x over here. Now she's going to divide by -3. So y equals 2x minus 10/3. We don't even care about that number though, right? Because we did all that to get our slope. You can't tell the slope until you have y by itself. Okay, you cannot look at that equation and tell the slope. You have to get y by itself. Now, luckily we're doing parallel, and parallel means use the same slope. So now I'm just going to use that slope, which is 2, and the point they gave me, and I'm going to do what I just did down here. So y minus 3 equals 2x plus 2. Y minus 3 equals 2x minus -2 or x plus 2. What form is this? Point slope. So if my directions say point slope, I stop right here, put it on the answer bar, and come back. If it says slope intercept, then I have to take it a little bit further, and that would be the slope intercept formula. Mrs. Ford, how do I know? Read the directions. And if the directions are like the ones on here, in other words, there aren't any directions, then you do whatever you want. Answer whichever way you like it best. Okie dokie smokies. All right. The only thing left is our word problem. Oh no, I guess we got another one down at the bottom there, but we got number 8, our word problem. So remember, I will give you the general form, but you will need to build the equation for your problem, and that's part A. So here's the general form. And now you are gonna build the equation for this problem for answer A. Navi?
I had a question on 17.
What?
So it's -3, so wouldn't it be y
I was
plus
just about to
3?
What did I do?
You did y minus 3.
So it ended up being a positive.
Oh, okay, well, let me redo that. The slope was 2, right? So y plus 3 equals 2x minus 2. Maybe I wrote my point wrong. Did I write my point wrong on the board?
Yeah, you.
So y plus 3 equals 2x minus 4. So this would be your point slope form. And then y equals 2x minus 7. I think maybe I had my point backwards. So this is the slope intercept form. Thank you, Navi. All right, so back to number 8A. Write the equation for this problem. All right, here we go. What's it gonna be? Read it carefully. Read it carefully. What's it gonna be? So h equals -16t squared plus
22.
this won't be 20.
I'm
That's gonna be 80. We know that's 80 because what goes in this spot, guys, is the
Velocity.
initial velocity. So you gotta read the question. And then what goes on the end? That's gonna be 20, right? Gotta get this right to get the rest of the problems right. Everybody okay with that equation? All right. How high is the ball after 1 second? How high is the ball after 1 second? What am I gonna do with that 1? Put it in for t. So the height will be -16 times 1 squared plus 80 times 1 plus 20. Now, square 1, what's 1 squared? Times -16, -16, plus 80 plus 20. Oh, 84,
Yes.
and what's the unit on that? Feet. How high is the ball? It's 84 feet above the ground. That's problem B. And then problem C. When is the ball on the ground? Now remember, here's the building, 80 feet tall, or no, 20 feet tall. You're throwing the ball up into the air, and this is what you want to know, right? Right there, that's what you want to know. So go back to your equation, and you have to plug something in. Just like here, you plugged in 1 for t. You gotta plug something into this equation. What are we plugging in if the ball is on the ground? 0 for h. If the ball is on the ground, then the height is 0. Would everybody agree this is the equation for part C? Now we have to solve it. And what you do is up to you, Ben.
You're just taking -2 out of it.
He wants to take a 2 out of it. Actually, I could probably take out a 4. So, some of you are gonna take out nothing. Some of you are just gonna solve that. Fine. Ben's gonna take out a 2. Fine. I'm gonna take out a 4. Fine. None of that matters. Okay, ultimately, don't sweat that. I'm gonna go ahead and do it though, because I agree with Ben, I like smaller numbers. So if I take a 4 out of 16, and a 4 out of 80, and a 4 out of 20, you didn't have to do that though, but you better get my answer. Well, I don't know, I made a lot of mistakes, we'll see. If I get this one right. Now, if you didn't divide out the 4, you got different numbers than I did. Did anybody else divide out the 4? Nobody else divided out the 4?
Oh, I did.
You did? Did you get 480 under there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, at this point, remember, there's 2 answers there. One of them is negative 20 plus root 480 over negative 8. And one of them is negative 20 minus root 480 over negative 8. Everybody agree with me? My 2 answers are here. So I'm going to type those in on my calculator carefully. And all of us should end up with the same answer, even if you didn't divide out the 4. For this one, I got negative 0.239. And for this one, I got 5.239. Now wait and see if anybody else matches that. Please don't wait till we moved on to the next problem. Tell me now. Did I make a mistake? Did I do something not quite right there? You got the same answer? Somebody did? Okay, so I did a ton of work. I got 2 different answers. Now I've got to make sure both of those answers make sense. In terms of the picture, should there be 2 answers? When does the ball hit the ground? 1 time, right? So which of those answers do I want to keep? The negative 0.239 or the 5.239? I want to keep this one right here. What's the unit on that? Seconds. So when does the ball hit the ground? After 5.239 seconds. All right. All right, Navi, you got it? What's going on back there?
Giving it with my hand. It's not turning into a decimal. Or my square root is it?
Well, you're supposed to be using your graphing calculator. It should be giving you a decimal. Nope. After you put in negative 20 minus the square root of 480, you gotta hit equals, and then divide it by negative 8. Or hit enter, and then divide it by negative 8. So one of them's that, and one of them's this. All right, last problem. What is happening in A? What does this mean? guys, next Wednesday, we said was our test, right, Wednesday? So you gotta know that this means distance. This should be a gimme problem. We want the distance between these 2 points. So how does that formula work? What do I do underneath that radical? I subtract my x's and square it. I subtract my y's and square it. And that's what I do. Okay? Now, what's 6 minus 4? Squared. So that's a 4. What's 11 minus 1? Squared. 100. So the square root of 104. Now this one we're going to answer exactly. It's only the ball in the air problem that we want a decimal for. So we're going to go ahead and simplify this radical. Does 104 break down? Breaks down into, let's see, 2 times 52, which is 2 times 26, which is 2 times 13. When you simplify though, you gotta have 2, right? So there's only one group of 2, and the leftover is 26. So 2 root 26 would be your full credit answer. Obviously, if you have square root of 104, you're gonna get most of the points, because you're there. You just gotta simplify if you want all of the points. Okay, so guys, what does AB mean? Distance. What does distance mean? The big radical formula. And then, Kyle, it says, find the midpoint. Midpoint, middle value. If you're in the middle, aren't you average?
Yeah.
Yes, the middle point, the average point. So here we go. Midpoint will be, what's 4 plus 6 divided by 2? 5. What's 1 plus 11 divided by 2? There's your midpoint. So what we just did, guys, is we finished up the other practice test, but we just did a whole practice test. So you just